consumers handle the perceived risk when making a buying decision is an interesting question for marketers and business people. Marketers and business people pay great attention to this question. I'm Catherine Ngahu from SBO Research, where we do consumer research to help companies understand their consumer decision-making processes. In this video, I will talk about the 7 strategies that consumers use to manage risk in the buying process. Understanding consumer risk handling strategies is important because it supports you in developing effective marketing strategies as well as enhancing selling skills. So if you're a marketer, if you're in sales, and also if you're a consumer, this video is for you. This is also important for us as consumers to understand how others handle the risks they encounter during the buying process and maybe compare with how we do the same ourselves. Perceived risk in the buying decision process comes from the uncertainty that consumers face when buying unfamiliar products or when they are not so sure of the outcome of their purchase decisions. As consumers, we are sometimes faced with the need to buy something unfamiliar or something where we are not so sure of the attributes or features that we should consider when making a decision. That is, which considerations do we need to make? Which factors do we need to consider in order to make the right decision about this product category? As a consumer, you can think of a time when you had to buy a new product or buy something unfamiliar, or maybe not a new product, but something you're buying for the first time yourself. Whether it was a phone, a camera, a motorbike, a car, or even a holiday, or air ticket for that matter. The other day, I heard someone describing his experience about the first time that he traveled by air and how he found the whole experience totally confusing. He was talking about how when he finally got onto the plane, after navigating the airport and various stops and all that, how he wasn't aware that the seats are located by numbers. So he just took the seat that he thought was most convenient. And he said how he was surprised when someone came and said to him, "Dude, this is my seat." And he showed him the number on his boarding pass. That's when he actually checked his own boarding pass and realized that it has a seat number. So he had to navigate and find his seat. Now the next challenge he said he faced was that he didn't even know that he was entitled to order drinks for free. And he basically missed out on the drinks because he feared that he would have to pay. He even was talking about how when it came to ordering food, he couldn't tell which was which. So he just pointed the food that his neighbor took and said, like, that one. You know, this kind of tells you what we are talking about. The new and unfamiliar situations you find yourself in as a consumer. I give this story to illustrate how buying or using products and services for the first time can present challenges to the consumer. We've all faced something like that. A first time use, a first time shocker, and sometimes embarrassing situations that come from not knowing exactly what to do. You don't know whether you have to queue or you go and sit down and maybe you're supposed to pick a number. And this tells marketers that it's their duty to really facilitate the consumer to have a good experience of buying products and services. That providing guidance, showing somebody where things are, where to proceed to, is important. Think of this. What did you do when you had to make an unfamiliar purchase decision? Did you ask your friends who you thought were more familiar with the product or service, or did you go to Google and start seeking for information? Incidentally, this perception of risk occurs even when buying less complex products, like even clothing, fashion items. However, it's more serious when buying new products and services or buying from new outlets or new online stores. The main customer fears have to do with the thought that the product might not work as expected, or that it may not be worth the price, or that a poor choice might cause social embarrassment. This is what drives customers to revert to various strategies in order to minimize risk in the buying decision process. These risk reduction strategies enable consumers to act with increased confidence when making buying decisions, even though the outcomes of such decisions are still likely to be somewhat uncertain. Now let's go straight to the 7 risk reduction strategies that consumers use. First It's information search. They tend to extend the time for information search, trying to find information about the relevant attributes and the features to consider when making the buying choice in that particular category. Some may ask friends who they think are more informed in such matters. Others will Google it or search it on YouTube. They may take more time to compare the product with others. The role of the marketer is to actually provide information to the answers that the customer is struggling with. That is, even before the customer asks the question, you should anticipate. Ask yourself, what kind of challenges does a customer engaging with this product or service face? What kind of questions would they have? And then you start providing those kinds in order to facilitate understanding. The second strategy is to buy a well-known brand. That is, the customers will buy a well-known brand that they've heard about before maybe, or that other people talk about, or that has been advertised more. You know, something that they think maybe they can rely on what they've heard on various channels, maybe online. The marketer's role is to communicate in a way that generates interest and that provides information on the product's quality, features, and benefits in order to get this customer to buy. Otherwise, they will go off and buy a well-known brand. This is a challenge for many small businesses. They don't have the budget for advertising, or even they don't show their products on social media that has great reach. So they lose out to the well-known businesses. The business needs to provide information and provide that which is personally relevant to the customer so that they can be able to make this decision in your favor. The marketer needs to answer any questions that the customer might have even before they are asked. The third strategy is brand loyalty. That is, you stick to your current brand. That means you don't bother anymore. That's how people end up upgrading on the same phone instead of buying a new brand, because they start wondering, how would now I get this new phone? How does it work? I need to have a new charger. How do I connect it? What's the communication mode on this phone? I don't have time to learn. So they stick with the brand they already know. We know people who are associated with their phone brands. You know, their friends call them the iPhone people, the Samsung people, and that kind of thing, because they have bought several models of the same brand over time. The fourth is asking for social proof. Some people are concerned about what others will think about their purchases, especially those that are used in the open, like mobile phones, cars, clothing, things that are worn in the open, visible products. So they want to feel that they are making the right decision, that they are with it, that they fit in with their bodies. This particularly applies to visible products and those that serve as status symbols for customers. They want you to showing how other people like themselves or people in their social circles have bought this product. The fifth is that they buy the next expensive brand. Have you ever found yourself in a store and trying to make a decision, and when you couldn't choose, you revert to the more expensive brand? Yeah, that happens. This strategy comes from the common assumption that the price is an indicator of quality. So if you can't think through it, if you can't make a decision, you pick the more expensive brand. The sixth strategy is to seek reassurance. People may do this by asking for a product that has guarantee or maintenance contract or something like that. They may ask for a demonstration of evidence of performance or to be explained about the key features that assure of ability to deliver the benefits that they are seeking. The seventh is buying from a reputable outlet or seller. They may choose to buy from a more known outlet, or if online, a more reputable name in online sales. This is because they want to be protected. They are not ready to take a risk. So they try to minimize by looking at what is already known. Another major challenge here is for small businesses, because they are not well known. They do not have the reputable stores, and so they need to even spend more time providing all the information and actually treating the customer with great care if they are going to overcome this kind of risks. Now, which one of these strategies have you used ever or recently? Think about it. To sum it up, the 7 strategies that consumers use to minimize buying risk are: first, information search; second, buying a well-known brand. Third, brand loyalty, that is sticking with your current brand. And fourth, asking for social proof. Fifth, buying the next expensive brand or the more expensive brand. Sixth, seeking reassurances. And seventh, buying from a reputable seller, both online and offline. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to press the like button and write a comment below to give me your feedback. If you're new here and have not subscribed yet, do press the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of the videos we post every week. Thank you and best wishes. Keep watching. We all need to elevate our mindset at this time.